In today's video, we are going to be eliminating this dirt mound. I'll be fixing us some tomato and onion sandwiches, and we will be finishing our night with a big fire. Thanks for checking us out. We are Florida Nature Homestead, and I hope you stick around. thinking to yourself, this part of the job must be tedious. Trust me, it is. It's dirty, it's sweaty, and most of all, it's so sandy. And this pile was nothing. Most of the mounds that we were left with after the land was cleared were monsters. We had nicknames for them. We had mounds of dirt over 8 foot tall. These took days to clear, weeks to clear, hour after hour, pulling out full-sized trees and multiple hundreds of pounds tree stumps. If you're wondering why we did it this way, I'll explain a little bit more when I make sandwiches. We'll probably get through more of our story as I continue to share videos. It's already been a journey, and we are just getting started. We haven't even gotten to the house building yet. And now the satisfying part, flattening out a newly cleared part of our land. This took us about 4 hours to complete this day. We had worked on this pile a bit on a previous day, but this made up the majority of the work to get this one cleared. There were no huge trees or big stumps to pull out, but we did add quite a bit to our burn pile and disperse the dirt along the side of our property where we needed some elevation. We just got done clearing this spot here. Right behind me, we've had a lot of big mounds of dirt that needed to be gone through, all of the branches and pieces of trees and whole trees taken out so that they can be burned and we can continue on with clearing our land. But right now it's time for a lunch break, and today I'm going to make some onion sandwiches, strawberry onion sandwiches, and tomato sandwiches. And at the beginning of March, it seems, here in Florida, we always get strawberry onions, and they're one of my favorite things. And so I always make sure to pick one up just to make onion sandwiches. And I didn't want them to be soggy, so I just cut the onions before we came out today and brought the bread and stuff with me to make the sandwiches here. So he wants his toasted, so I toasted bread. Got White Mountain bread from Publix, which is one of my favorites to have with the Vidalia onion. And strawberry onion. I always call them Vidalias, but strawberry onions, I guess it's two different things. So, Kewpie, if you know, you know. Goes on one side of the bread. Let me adjust this camera so you can get a better view. So Kewpie, good amount on one side. Hopefully I'm talking loud enough that you can hear me over the tractor. But this is kind of an experiment in how things are gonna go here. So we got Kewpie, and then put this butter onto a little plate here to take out, so it'd be nice and soft and spreadable by the time I was ready to make sandwiches. So that we put on the other side. Now, I'm pretty sure, probably in more places than just Florida, that strawberry onion sandwiches are a thing, but let me know what you think. If you've had a strawberry onion sandwich. Now we do a generous amount of pepper, both sides. Even brought out the pepper grinder. And a good amount of salt. Both sides. And trust me, we sweat enough to deserve it. Alright, so now onion. And a little more salt and pepper right on top of the onion. I meant to grab some paper plates to bring out, but I forgot them. So I'm going to make do with the lids from my Tupperware containers to be my plate and prep area. Let's see. Got a little more onion that I can put some more on here. This onion really doesn't have a lot of heat. It's a lot sweeter. And so you really can enjoy a whole onion sandwich with the strawberry onion. Yum. Okay, that's one. That will be his on the toasted bread. I'm gonna go with mine on untoasted bread. And just do the same thing again. Well, I'll talk to you a little bit more. So we've been plugging away this week on the property. Things have been, I don't know, culminating into finishing some of these big burn piles that we had. And I call them burn piles, but really they were heaping piles of mess. And when we bought the property last year, September, we had hired a company, just a guy, came out to do the big part of clearing our trees. This lot had never been cleared. It had a lot of small pines. Well, it had a lot of small oaks and some small pines and some big pines. And so we thought it would be better to hire somebody to do that part. And so this guy got all the work done in like about 2 days and said that he would leave us with some reasonable burn piles so that we could save a little money and do our own burning or you know, clearing the trees and stuff out. And now here we are in March, and we are still going through these piles, pulling out trees, pulling out roots, because the land was cleared, the trees were cleared, but these easy burn piles that he was supposed to have left us with were not. They were dirt piles with paths. They were dirt piles with a lot of big stuff mixed in with them. And you couldn't just easily burn these piles. We tried. And it just resulted in a lot of huge smoldering heaps that took days to burn and still weren't burned. I don't know if you can see in this shot behind me. This right here is one that we have left. And then we have a couple that are left on the side, off camera, that you can't see.
but we've gotten all of like the big ones done. And then this week we've gotten 3 piles completed in 3 days. And that feels great because finally we can see like the size of our land. You know, it's just over an acre, but when you have all of these huge piles, you just, for me at least, you know, you can't really like gauge the size of the land that you're working with. And I'm just glad to see that now that we have it cleared, like it feels bigger. It feels, yes, like we're gonna have space for all of the things, you know, that we want here on our property. So now I am moving on to our second sandwich, and we're just doing the same exact thing. Mayonnaise on one side, butter on the other, salt and pepper. I've got a nice vine ripe tomato that I sliced up this morning. I probably could have sliced this tomato a little bit thicker, but you know what? After working all day in the heat, it's gonna be delicious. This, again, is his on the toasted bread. I've got untoasted bread for mine. So after we finish our lunch, I'm gonna get back to work with him, and we're going to be taking, you can see this like kind of more golden spot over here. We have this area that has pretty clean kind of dirt, and that's like the back of our property. And the way that our property is, it slopes down, and then we have a pond at the front, and so we've been clearing everything, flattening everything, and we've been taking the clean fill from back here, making sure there's no branches or roots or anything in it, and bringing it to the front of the property where the house is going to go, so that we can elevate the front of the property. And I mean, I still think that we're going to have to bring in fill dirt. He doesn't think so, but you know, if we don't, of course that saves us a lot of money. If we do, then you know, it'll still be less than if we hadn't moved all this dirt around. And he enjoys the like grading process of the land, and you know, shaping it how he envisions it, and that of course is important. So I'll be going back to moving dirt with him, and he goes around on the tractor, and I'm usually pulling stuff out of the bucket as he's like any big roots or branches, or I'll be in front of him, like where he's just made a scoop, and I'll pull out any branches that I see sticking out of the ground. And you know, that's how we can work as a team and kind of get through this a little faster than just one person on their own. We're going through this as fast as we can, but not as fast as we'd like. We both work full time, and we try and be out here as much as we can. Yeah, I hope that my intention is to continue to document this and kind of share our process. We'll see how it goes. This is kind of my first time talking directly to the camera like this, and I can't say that it's my favorite, but it's okay. 13 minutes is a little long, but thanks for sticking around, and show you our big fire later. Oh. Okay, well, here's the end of our night, and we're gonna burn this pile, and this pile is the wood that we pulled out of 2 of those dirt piles, and that's what we're left with, which is a lot of saw palm, some pine, some oak, and I'm gonna pour a little bit of diesel on it to get it going, and you'll see the results. So we have done gas, we have done ethanol-free gas, and we've done diesel. And you can see with the diesel, I'm using the blowtorch, and there's way less of an immediate kick with the fire. And for the most part, even though it's a little bit slower, it's definitely safer. And we've had a couple of kind of scary singe your hair moments with gas, so if you're doing something like this, diesel might be the right choice. That's it for starting the fire. Burn, baby, burn.